So how fast is Godzilla? And what are the fastest and slowest Godzilla incarnations? Here in this video we will assess all the different Godzillas, well the ones seen in movies, and we will also put the Showa Godzillas in one entry and do the same with the Heisei Godzilla. And we won't include his swimming speeds, which is constantly set at around 35 knots. So let's get to the list. At number 13 is Godzilla -1. Surprisingly, the newest Godzilla is in fact the slowest, and the fact that we can say that is because of a scene of him walking in Ginza, which is a district in the larger Tokyo metropolitan area, and there we could see people running away from his tombs. And there were many that managed to escape and outrun the monster. Therefore, in any case, this shows that Godzilla here is only as fast on land as the fastest human, which is roughly 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers per hour. Number 12. Godzilla SOS. Also known as Kiryu-Goji, he was a malevolent force of natural destruction. Even though he is powerful and terrifying, he was not shown to be moving at a great speed in the entirety of the movie. He had a gradual walking pace that was almost the same or a bit faster than Godzilla -1, so that would mean he was just a bit faster. Number 11. GMK Godzilla. Unlike other interpretations of the character, this Godzilla is a supernatural entity inhabited by the restless souls of those killed in the Pacific Theater during World War II. Here in this movie he was seen having a similar speed to SOS or the other Millennium variants. He walks and he stomps, but he was never seen running or dashing forth, and thus he is the same in speed as the previous entry. Number 10. Godzilla 2000. This is the first incarnation of the character to appear in the Millennium era. This Godzilla first appeared sometime after the original Godzilla's demise in 1954, and he continually menaced Japan over the years. Just like the others in this list before him, he had a similar walking pace, although with a bit of a faster frequency between steps, and he was never seen running or dashing forth. Therefore, we would put his speed at around 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles an hour. Number 9. Shin Godzilla. While Shin Godzilla's second form and the third form were relatively more agile on land, clocking in at speeds of over 50 miles an hour, the fourth form, which is the main one in focus right here, had slow strides, kinda like the previous ones, but since he was taller, like twice the height, and had longer legs, therefore his speed here would also be slightly faster. We would estimate him walking with a pace of 20 to 30 miles an hour, or around 32 to 48 kilometers per hour speed. Number 8. Godzilla Earth. Now this is the biggest Godzilla incarnation till date, and probably would hold the title for a very long time. Godzilla Earth was seen to be very slow, and had a very lazy pace. It took him half the movie of Mechagodzilla City to get from one place to another, yet the distance was vast to begin with, and even though he had a pace that was twice slower than Shin Godzilla, his size however, which is 3 times, means that he still covers more ground. Thus we would put him at more than 30 miles an hour or almost 50 kilometers per hour. Number 7. Heisei Godzilla. So this variant here, despite being outclassed in speed by his rivals in the Heisei period, was still able to fight to the end, and at times get a hold of the nimbler Ghidorah and Destroyer. When you watch the movies, you would see Godzilla here having a pace that is more than twice that of Shin Godzilla despite being smaller than him, well, just a bit. So therefore, with this reasoning, he would be less than twice faster than Shin, or around 40 miles an hour, or if we want to convert it into metric system, 64 kilometers per hour. Number 6. Godzilla Ultima. Just like Shin Godzilla, Godzilla's Singular Point also had several different forms that evolved within the show in a matter of days. His aquatilus form was fast underwater, but as we said before, we will only cover speed on or over land. Also like Shin, the Ultima form was seen to be slow and cumbersome, barely covering any distance, but when he was battling Jet Jaguar in the final episode, we get to see him do a sudden charge at the robot, catching it off guard, and this is his speed record in the anime. We estimate this sudden dash to be roughly between 50 to 80 miles an hour, or around 80 to 130 kilometers per hour. Number 5. Godzilla Final Wars. The Final Wars Top G was a beast in speed. His normal walking speed was easily 3 or 4 strides faster than most other Godzillas. The scene that sets his speed record was when he was fighting with Monster X, when they both charged at each other. Godzilla had strides that almost covered his body size in just a second. Mind you that this Godzilla was 100 meters or 328 feet tall, therefore that would put his speed at somewhere between 150 to 200 miles an hour, or 240 to 320 kilometers per hour. Number 4. TriStar Godzilla. This Godzilla here looked more like a dinosaur than a kaiju, but nevertheless, we will include him here. The 1998 Godzilla was very fast and agile, possessing a land speed of over 300 miles an hour, or 480 kilometers per hour. This speed was showcased in the movie when he was able to outrun multiple squadrons of AH-64 Apache longbow helicopters, and despite being in point-blank range, he was also able to avoid and dodge missiles launched at him with ease. Number 3. The KOTM and GVK Godzilla. Godzilla of the Monsterverse is indeed a heavy dude. He walks around weighing 100,000 tons. But don't let that fool you. In King of the Monsters and in Godzilla vs. Kong, when he was charging against Monster Zero and Mecha Godzilla respectively, his speed was over the top even if it doesn't look like it. He was able to cover more than his own body height, which is 120 meters, in less than a second. That, when extrapolated, puts his speed between 300 and 350 miles an hour, or between 480 and 560 kilometers per hour. Number 2. GXK, the New Empire Godzilla. In the trailer of GXK, we saw the new Pink Zilla, and he seems to be larger and more deadlier looking. In the final scenes, we get to witness him running or charging for an extended period of time alongside Kong against an unknown enemy. In that scene, it was clear that he was faster than his earlier GVK form, and even Kong was trying to keep up with him. He was running like an Apollo Creed with Kong as Rocky Balboa behind him. Here we can estimate him to have a faster speed than GVK, so a top running speed of easily more than 400 miles an hour, or over 640 kilometers per hour. Number 1. The Showa Godzilla. Surprisingly, the top speed goes to the Showa era Godzilla, not the original but the later goofier incarnations. Take for example, his flying kick attack. With his size of 50 meters or 165 feet, that attack speed would clock him at more than 250 miles an hour, or 400 kilometers per hour. But that's not the absolute limit. The speed record was, funny enough, set by him when he flew across the sky using his atomic breath as a propellant. It was stated that there, he flew past the speed of sound, which means at least Mach 1, or 740 miles an hour, or in the metric system, 1200 kilometers per hour. So those are the slowest to the fastest Godzillas ranked in this list. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel as we might have things that you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.